Hey, Indy here. I'm going to knock out two RPG a day questions again at the same time. This time the 22nd, supposedly random game events that keep reoccurring, and 23rd, share one of your best worst luck stories because a little bit of this is the same. Um, for one thing, though, the supposedly random game event that keeps reoccurring. Um, in my current Rollmaster game that I'm running, I have one player whose character is pure fighter, and the way you resolve combat in Rollmaster at a very basic level is you make a roll, you add your offensive ability, you subtract their defensive ability, you look that number up on a chart that's specific for your weapon and against their armor type. So rolls on one side, their armor type on the other. That might sound excessive, but in this way they can do things like, hey, puncture weapons get through these kinds of armor better, and this is where crushing weapons come into play, and this is where slicing weapons come into play, and they're all their strengths and weaknesses. So you look up the result, and the result tells you, if you did hit it all, it tells you this is the amount of damage you did, and if you rolled well enough, it says this is the critical severity and of type that you did. If you're attacking with a long sword, a lot of times you'll get a slicing critical because you hit with the edge, but sometimes you'll get a crush critical because you hit on with the broadside of the blade. Then you go grab another piece of paper. Players are usually prepared with all this stuff. That has, the dice results on one side and the severity of the critical on the other for that particular type of critical result. So this character has a very large bonus to his attack. He's had a very large bonus from the very beginning. He's got maximum stat in strength and a racial bonus to strength, and due to starting bonuses, he also ended up with a bonused weapon. So he has been rocking the attack bonus from way early on. By far and above, he's had the largest first level character bonus I had ever seen. And he cannot roll a critical result to save his life. He'll only roll a moderately high number D100 system, so 50 to maybe 80 when he gets a severity critical, the lowest. When he's got those E criticals and those D criticals at the top, he rolls a 2, a 3. It happens all the time. One of the other characters made some player sheets for everybody and put a little image on them so that it was easily identifiable as their sheet because there was some character-specific information he had written on each of them. And for this player's character sheet, he included the picture of a Nerf mace weapon because the character uses a Nerf. The character uses a mace that we suspect is actually a Nerf mace because it never seems to hurt. That has been happening, for the whole 1 year plus of our campaign. This is where we transition to the 23rd question. Is also in Rollmaster, but going back to my first campaign, my character rolled a fumble result on an attack roll, which was basically an unmodified, 1 through whatever number. The more complicated the weapon was, the higher that number was. With the rapier, the number was fairly low. It was like 1 to 3 on a D100. I happened to roll it twice. And on both times, on a, again, D100 chart of failure results, fumble results, I happened to get the exact same result. Stumbling and basically having the stun effect applied for 2 rounds as I choked on my own tongue because I swallowed it in the middle of trying to make that first attack. And I'm trying to clear my airway for the next 2 rounds, next 10 seconds. It's funny the first time, and then it's funny, sad the second time, you know? And then the GM said, "Oh, and from now on, since you rolled that twice, we're going to apply this mechanical score towards getting that same result, since that's apparently what you seem to do. So whenever we roll, if you ever roll a fumble on that weapon again, you're going to shift towards that number automatically." So that was kind of funny. It's definitely worse luck though. It's bad enough you got a fumble. The possibility of just missing your attack and continuing the next round was there, but nope. The 2 times I fumbled, stunned for 2 rounds, and in Rollmaster that is a new character sheet just waiting. If you'd like to find out more about RPG A Day or RPG Brigade, this year's hosts, the links are down below. You can also go there to find other people's answers to these questions and share your own. Feel free to comment down below with any of your responses to these same questions, or to post links to other people's content that you found also interesting.